Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, guys. As usual, we are here today, Thursday afternoon, 12 p.m. CST. And today we are here with a new topic. And along with me now, my team is also here to share their knowledge also. Abhishek Gandhi, he is a director and a CPA from AG Fintax. And Neha Iyer, he is also a CPA and she is based out of Texas. And Abhishek, you can take it over from here. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I think it is Neha will take first. Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about general tax filing obligation for non-resident and expats for United States. My counterpart Neha here. She will explain about non-resident tax filing. So I will invite Neha to shed some light on this area. Neha, please go ahead.
Thanks, Abhishek. Hi, everyone. This is Neha here over here, and I would like to talk about non-resident tax returns filing. So let's start with who is a non-resident alien. A non-resident is somebody who is not a U.S. citizen, who's not a U.S. national, who does not hold a green card yet, and at the same time, that individual has not met the criteria of a substantial presence test. That means the individual has not stayed within U.S. for the substantial period of time during the year. Substantial presence test is one of the major criteria that will determine whether you are a resident for tax return purposes or whether you are a non-resident for tax return purposes. So once we know who a non-resident alien is, we need to see what are the triggers that will make a non-resident alien having a requirement to file a tax return in US. So one of the major ones is engaged in trade or business in US. That can include a non-resident student, teacher, trainee who are in their respective visa status of F, J, M, or Q. So, say if they have a US source of income, or they receive any taxable grants or scholarship in country, then they would be considered to have been engaged in job business in US, and accordingly they would have filed a non-resident tax return. Similarly, a non-resident, if he does not have sufficient withholding from the sources of income in US, you have to file a tax return in US and pay the appropriate taxes to the US government. Or if there is any representative or information, then that person also needs to be filing a US tax. Similarly, if you are a fiduciary entrusted with the responsibility for the management of the non-resident alien trust or estate, or for carrying of the person or the property of the non-resident alien, then you need to be filing the tax return and pay appropriate taxes. Now, if you have any taxes that has been withheld from the income that you have earned, and if the taxes withheld is more than what it should have been withheld, then in those scenarios, you have to file a tax return to claim the excess taxes that has been withheld. Or if you want to claim any deduction credits, like say you have a rental income. Now, in that rental income, you want to claim HOA fees or mortgage interest or property taxes or say any repairs and maintenance expenses. All those deductions you will be able to claim by way of filing a tax. Now, once we know what are the triggers to file a tax return in US, the other criteria will be what is the source of income to be considered for filing the tax return. A non-resident has to file for the non-resident, whatever is the US source of income will be a taxable income. For a resident, it might be only a global income, but for a non-resident, it is only a US source of income. Like say investment income or income from rental properties, or maybe any business activities that the non-resident has undertaken and earned income from. So effectively, you can see that there are two major categories of income for a non-resident. One is effectively connected with the trade or business, or the other is fixed definable annual or periodic income, like rental income, interest income, or dividend income. Now, as far as a non-resident is concerned, before the non-resident gets the income, there will be taxes that has been withheld by the payer and remitted to the US government. The taxes will be withheld on various sources of income, like say wages, dividend, interest income, royalty income, or rental income. So, as we saw that if there is a shortfall in the withholding, or if there is has been any excess withholding, the non-resident will have to file a tax return and pay appropriate taxes to the government, or claim a refund by way of filing a tax return. Now, as far as a non-resident is concerned, non-resident will have to be mindful of the tax residency rules that is applicable in US and that is applicable to the non-residents based on the home country. So, based on terms and regulations of those uh, rules, it is quite possible that the non-resident might be considered as a resident in both US and the home country, thereby having residency. And that can be very crucial because that is going to have an impact on the tax obligation of the non-resident for the year. Now, a US resident will be filing a tax return under Form 1040. The non-resident will be filing a tax return under the Form 1040 NR. And a US resident will be filing the tax return by April 15th. A non-resident will have to file a tax return by April 15th if he has any sources of income, the W wages, or maybe any uh, self-employment income which is subjected to US, or if he has a place of business office or a place
Yeah,
of business in
Neha,
US, then he would have to buy
Neha,
by
lot of
April.
disturbance from your side.
Yes, sir.
No, lot of disturbance from your side.
Okay.
So your audio is not good. Okay, Abhishek, as we discussed offline, can you please take it over?
Yeah, sure. So lately she was talking about this non-resident will apply to people who run business in the US, right? And other people who earn income in the US, like a rental income, or who need to claim their tax refund or deductions, credit, those kind of requirement. Now, filing deadlines for non-resident is that depends on your situation, but April 15 is a deadline if you receive wages like subject to US withholding or have a US business presence. So then your deadline to file a tax return is April 15. June 15 is a deadline if you don't receive wages subject to US withholding and don't have a US business presence. So that is the criteria here for the filing. Now I will talk about expect tax filing. Uh, since since today's topic is about expect tax filings, and you must be thinking that expect tax filing must be some complicated area of tax filing, but it is not. It is really very straightforward. Let's understand first what is an aspect tax filing. Aspect is an abbreviation of expatriate, which means that the US citizen who lives outside of the US, outside of the country, meaning living abroad. So if you are a citizen, so if you are a US citizen and living abroad, you generally still have filing obligations, right? So let's go in further detail. I'll explain a little bit more. The US uses a residency based tax system, which means that you file a US return regardless of where you live. Now, again, you are thinking that a person who requires to file a tax return is not good, but that's not the case. There are some benefits also, and these benefits are available to qualifying expats, such as let me give you some examples like foreign earned income exclusion. This allows you this foreign income exclusion. It will allow you to exclude a portion of your foreign income from US taxes. So to avail or to claim this exclusion, you have to file 2555. That's the condition, but that's a good thing. foreign earned income exclusion, which means that if you have earned income outside of the US, you can claim that and you get some credit. Another one is a foreign tax credit. This also allows you to claim credit for taxes already paid in a foreign country. So, for say you are living in any country of the Europe and you paid some taxes over there, or maybe in India and you paid some taxes, then you can claim foreign tax credit. So that's another advantage. There are few requirements and some additional requirements for expats are like expats may have additional reporting requirement, which is like if they have a foreign bank accounts, right? And even though it doesn't generate any taxable income, uh, you know like uh, like if you have a bank account in India, you have to still file under FBAR. Or if you have a financial assets, you are liable to file a tax return. There are filing deadlines for expats too, and US citizen and resident alien living abroad, they have to file their tax return by April 15. But automatically you get 2 months filing extension. So if you miss a regular due date to file tax return, you still have 2 months to file your tax return. And this is without filing an extension. So that's a good thing, correct? I told you that there are some benefits too. So, in nutshell, non-resident tax filing or expat tax filing. Always understand your requirements, your international tax laws that can be intricate depending on your tax situation. So you have to be careful. You have to see who are you, what is your tax situation, and depends on that you have to ensure compliance and optimize your tax situation. And seeking a professional guidance from specialist, that would not be a bad idea. So please do that. They can help you understanding your residential status, optimize your tax situation, and ensure compliance with all applicable laws. So this is all for the day. I will ask Anil if if he has some other points to add on. Anil, over to you.
Thanks, Abhishek. As usual, you rocked it. And thanks, Neha, for covering it. And as discussed today, there is a difference between non-resident NRIs, non-resident Indians, and expats. So I hope the session was useful to understand when do you need your taxes, what are the due tax returns we need to file. And like this, we will continue to share our knowledge every week on Thursday afternoon, 12 p.m. CST. Let's catch up again next week on some other day, on some other topic. I don't see any other questions. If anyone has any questions, I can take up those questions, or feel free to post your questions even if you are watching the live later in a recording later. We are happy to answer the questions later also.
Absolutely.
I don't see any more questions on the chat box. Neha, do you want to add anything? Your audio was a bit disturbance earlier.
I hope the main concept everyone was able to hear. So I see one question. I have a few questions regarding US citizen obligation on property transactions outside
Yes,
of
please.
US.
Let's handle it. Hmm.
So can you elaborate on that question, Madhu, please, as to what
Yes, I
exactly
can.
is your query?
Yeah, Madhu, I can answer your question. In case of US citizen, if we sell the property in India, can you explain what are the tax obligations in India as well as in US? This is not a relevant to today's topic, but still I will take up discussions. Whenever you sell a property in India, you earn the income, you generated the income from India. So you have to pay taxes in India, and you also need to file a tax returns in India. Then, being you are a resident in America, you have to file taxes in US by showing that income, as you are obligated to show global income in your tax return. When you show that income as a global income, you have to compute all the taxes as the event happened in US itself. Then whatever taxes you paid in India, that tax amount, you can take it as a tax credit to reduce your tax liability in US. In simple terms, we have a double tax avoidance agreement between US and India. So if you have paid taxes in India, then you don't need to pay taxes again in US. So of course there are some terms and conditions, there are clauses are there, but this is at a high level. So you pay taxes at one place, whoever is charging more. Like example, in India, you have to pay taxes maybe at 15%, but in US you have to pay taxes at 20%. So then US taxes you have to obligate it. Whichever is higher, up to that number you have to pay taxes. And once you pay the taxes in both the countries, once you file taxes in both the countries, then yes, you can even bring those funds to US also. Maybe on some other week we can have an exclusive session on repatriation of funds from India to US, or what happens when you sell this capital assets in India if you are a resident in US. And I hope, Madhu, you got my answers. But if you have any more questions, feel free to post your questions. And
I can
I
Yeah, I can see another question also. I think Madhu herself, she want consultation. So Madhu, you can contact us anytime, and we will be happy to help you. We will provide you consultation via phone, or we can schedule a Teams call with you. So either one, whatever you prefer. Just feel free to contact us. Another is, you also said that you are selling a property in India. So of course, when you sell a property in India, you have to file a tax return in India, and after that filing, we need a copy of tax return that you file in India. So based on that, what taxes you will pay, based on that, we will file a foreign tax credit for you. So I hope that I answered your question.
Yes, Abhishek, I think you answered and I covered it and you added it from your side. Thank you very much. Neha, if you want to add anything, you can add. Otherwise, we can stop this call.
So based on the chat, I did realize that my audio was disturbed. So I hope on a high level basis, everyone got the concept of when a non-resident is expected to file a tax return in India, what are the sources of income that is considered for the non-resident to file a tax return, and at the same time that there has to be appropriate withholding of income from the non-resident income. If it is either less or it is on a higher side, then a non-resident is expected to file a tax return and pay appropriate taxes to the government, or at the same time, if it is more, then file a tax return and claim a refund. Again, there was a slide which we highlighted about the due dates for filing the tax return and the tax form that has to be considered. I did see that Abhishek did recapture that document, that slide, and highlighted it for the team. If there are any further questions, as Anil mentioned, feel free to either send or post a message, or else you can send out an email to us and we can get back to you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Neha. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm dropping.